Shalom, shalom. Good evening, everyone. It seems like we're on live. Welcome to Hebrew Lesson Part 2. My name is Uzi Alewi. I am the moderator of this class. We have the teacher, Moreh Yeftahk Dahn. He will be the teacher of this class. He's going to be reviewing, well, he's going to explain it to y'all, let y'all know what's going on today. If you saw part 1, you see he went through the alphabet and the Hebrew language. And first of all, I'd like to give praises to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh of hosts. He is the God of the universe. Besides him, there is no other. We'd like to thank everyone that's joining us on this evening, and we hope that you will be edified and that everything that we teach will be, or that Moreh teaches, not me, everything that Moreh teaches would be of a benefit to you and will be something that you could carry for the rest of your life. Moreh is taking his time out of his busy schedule to go over the lessons, and I hope that everyone appreciates it. Like I said last week, this is a continuation of the begin in April of last year during our lunch breaks, but because it wasn't, people couldn't see the blackboard, they couldn't really understand what was going on, we figured that we had to find a better way to be able to share the Hebrew lessons with everyone in the community, everyone in the room. So we went and we got a little bit more, how do you say it, more technical, to where we could bring up charts and people could actually see the things that are happening on the screen. So thank you to Most High Yah once again for this day. Thank you, Yahweh, for all things and everything, food, clothing, and shelter. I ask that I hope that everyone will be into it. If you look below your descriptions, you will see some links that you could download, some charts. If you don't already have the chart, we're going to go over the chart from last week once again, and everything else. And also, for everyone, we would like you to donate right here on our channel. You could support, or you could go on our homepage and press the PayPal button and support us. Give a donation for what you're learning. So thanking everyone for being here with us, and at this time I'm going to turn it over to my brother Moreh Yeftahk Dahn. Oh, another thing, Moreh Yeftahk Dahn is a student of Moreh Mishael ben Naphtali, and Moreh Yeftahk is actually the only student of Moreh Mishael that was actually given the title Moreh by Moreh Mishael ben Naphtali. So he comes with credential. He sat under Moreh Mishael for many years, and Moreh Mishael is the premier Hebrew teacher in our community. So it comes from a very good stock of Hebrew learning, and I pass the mic over to my brother Moreh Yeftahk Dahn.
Toda Rabah, Toda Rabah. Can you hear me good?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, Toda Rabah. Continuous praise to the Most High God, King of heaven and earth, even the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Israel. I give him thanks and praise for all things and for everything, because without him we are nothing. Glad that everybody's tuning in, everybody's interested in learning. I want everybody to remember, the only way you're going to get Hebrew is if you study and if you practice. If you don't study and if you don't practice, it's going to be very hard for you to attain this language. But with study and with practice, you can very much attain this language, and the sky's the limit after that point. And remember, our focus on learning Hebrew right now is to increase our spirituality, to be able to read Torah, and even to make our Shabbat experience more enjoyable. So as we begin to get into the Hebrew lesson, we're going to review what we did last week. I'm going to ask my brother, Chief Uziel Ben Lewi, to share his screen. And as he does that, he will bring up the chart that we went over last week. We'll have a review of what we did, and then we'll progress a little bit more. What I don't want to do is give you too much too soon. I don't want you to believe that you're going to have a 3-week or a 6-week Hebrew course, and then everything will be fine. This will be a continuous process, and you'll be brought along slowly. You'll be given some information, you'll review it, you'll practice it. Soon enough, we're working on it, where we'll have some charts and some things that you guys will be able to stop and do exercises. You will be able to take the exercise and practice your Hebrew, so that everything that you're doing, you'll eventually be able to stop and say, okay, this is the way we can do it. All right. So if we remember from last week, we had the Hebrew letters. And as soon as the chart comes back up, then we'll be able to review the letters, and we'll go over the way each letter is pronounced. Now, one of the things that we remembered in our review, each letter is its own, by its own merit, and each letter has its own numerical value, and each letter has a meaning. Each letter is a word. And the word for letters is ot, and when you're talking about multiple letters, they are called otot. So again, each letter is ot, and each letter is otot. I am the Moreh by title, and Moreh by virtue of the Hebrew class. Even though I call myself Moreh and I've been given the title of Moreh, I'm Moreh Yeftahk Dahn, more so of the teaching of Torah and of Holy Scripture sense, of spirituality, than more so of the Hebrew class. But when it comes into the Hebrew class, I am the Moreh. And Moreh means teacher. Okay? One thing we'll remember about Hebrew, you have the masculine and the feminine. That will come up. Hebrew, masculine Moreh, feminine Morah. But in this case, I am Moreh Yeftahk Dahn. Okay, now that we got all that out the way, let's review. Remember, Hebrew is read from right to left as opposed to English. When English is read from left to right. So when we begin, we'll start from the right, upper right-hand corner, and we move across the page to the left, and then we will go down rows one by one, beginning from right to left. Okay? So our first letter we see is Aleph. The second letter is Beit. Third letter is Beit. The next letter is Gamel. The next letter is Dalet. The next letter is Hey. The next letter is Wav. The next letter is Zion. The next letter is Chet. Remember, that's a guttural, Chet. The next letter is Tet. The next letter is Yod. The next letter is Kaf. The next letter is still Kaf, but it's identifying to you different ways you can see Kaf, but that is the same letter. The next letter is Kaf Sofit. The next letter is Lamed. The next letter is Mem. The next letter is Mem Sofit. The next letter is Nun. The next letter is Nun Sofit. The next letter is Samet. The next letter is Ayin. The next letter is Pei. The next letter is Fei. The next letter is Fei Sofit. The next letter is Sadeh. The next letter is Sadeh Sofit. The next letter is Kof. Remember, you need that QU or that KW sound. Kof, Kof, Kof. The next letter is Resh. The next letter is Shin. SH, sheen. The next letter is seen. The next letter is tau. And the next letter is tau. It's still the same. So now, quickly, I'm going to go again with the letters. See if you can keep up. I'm not going to call off each letter like that. I'm just going to say it, and I want you to say it with me. Alef, Beit, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wow, Zion, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Kaf, Kaf Sofit, Lamed, Mem, Mem Sofit, Nun, Nun Sofit, Samet, Ayin, Pei, Pei, Pei Sofit, Sade Sofit, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tau, Tau. Okay, what do we remember from last week? There are 5 Softim. The 5 Softim are Kaf Sofit, Mem Sofit, Nun Sofit, Sade Sofit. Did I do them? I'm losing my own count. Kaf Sofit, Mem Sofit, Nun Sofit, Sade Sofit. I only said 4. What am I missing? Uh-oh. Let's do it one more time. The first one is Kaf Sofit. The next one is Mem Sofit. The next one is Nun Sofit. The next one is Sade Sofit. Kaf, Mem, Nun.
Fei Sofit. Fei Sofit.
I'm jumping. Okay. So let me go a little bit slower. There are 5 Softim. Each one being Kaf Sofit, Mem Sofit, Nun
Sofit.
Fei
Fei
Sofit,
Sofit.
and
Sade Sofit.
Okay. So those are the 5 Softim that we have. And what do we remember about the Softim? You will only use them for grammatical purposes. When you're writing, that's when you use the Softim. Other than that, there's nothing particular about the Sofit that you need. That is a more current way of writing that you will have to be aware of when you're reading Hebrew. So do not discount the Sofit. The Softim are used at the end of a word. That's the only time you will see the Softim present, at the end of a word. So if you see a Sofit needs to be used, remember the rule, it's used at the end of a word. Okay, so there's 5 Softim, we know that. The silent letters, do we remember those? The silent letters are Alef and Ayin. Those are the silent letters. Those letters are never pronounced. Alef and Ayin. Okay? We remember there are certain letters that are used interchangeably. Do we remember what those letters are? Those letters being Beit and Beit are sometimes used interchangeably, not always, sometimes used interchangeably. Pei and Fei are sometimes used interchangeably. Sometimes. You can't do it all the time. You must know the rules of Hebrew to know when it can be changed interchangeably and when it cannot be used interchangeably. And that comes along with your Hebrew learning and increasing your Hebrew vocabulary. What else do we remember? Letters that sound the same when pronounced, but are not the same. What are those letters? The Samet and the Sin. Those letters sound the same, but are 2 totally different letters and will be present when you get into spelling. And it will let you know, it will identify for you what the word is. Hebrew is a language full of homonyms. The words may sound alike, but when they're spelled differently, they have a different definition. That's a homonym, right? Hebrew is full of homonyms. So you must be aware, even though the word may sound the same, it may have a different definition according to its spelling. Samik and Sin. Two different letters, but sound the same. What's the other two letters? Tet and Tau. Tet and Tau. Those two letters sound the same, but are different letters altogether. Tet and Tau. So the two sets, Samik and Sin, Tet and Tau. Sound the same, but two entirely different letters. All right. Do we remember what the guttural letter is? The guttural letter is the het. The het. The 8th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Het. Did y'all hear how I did that? On your chart, you see the C-H-E-T sound, but you must practice making that guttural sound in order to sound proper. Het. Just push the air across the top of your mouth slightly. Het. It is short. It is not exaggerated. It is short. Het. Het.
Het.
Exactly. Very good. The resh. Let's not forget the resh. Sadeh, Sadeh, Sophie, Kof, resh. You must roll that R when you are pronouncing the resh. Resh. Resh.
Resh.
Exactly. Usually people who speak Spanish can do it with ease because that's present in the Spanish language.
Ricky Ricardo.
Exactly. You see where I'm at with this. Resh. Practice it. Practice it now, because as you get into reading, it has to be secondary. It can't be something that you have to think about pronouncing. It has to just come off. Resh. Resh. Same thing with the het. Het. It has to just come out. Moreh Yeftahk. Did you hear it? Moreh Yeftahk. Abraham. Yitzchak.
Yitzchak.
Exactly.
Moreh Yeftahk.
Exactly. Has to make sound. Have to know it's present. Now, what I want you guys to do is to practice letter recognition. Do this on your own time. For those who have a Tanakh, that word Tanakh being a 3-letter acronym for Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim. Tanakh. For those who have a Tanakh, even though you may not be able to read, practice letter recognition. Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And what I want you to do is open up the book, forget about the English you see, and look at the letters. And I want you to call off each letter one by one. So do y'all get what I'm asking y'all to do? I want you to open up Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And I don't want you to try to read the word. I just want you to practice the letter one by one. It's that simple. And I'm going to go over it a little bit for you right now, just so you can understand what I'm talking about. I'll give you about 20 seconds. Go and get your Tanakh, pull it out. For those who don't have a Tanakh, you can get it online for free. So if you're listening to this class, you have an internet connection, go online and get it for free. Go to heedcal.com or wherever you decide to go. And they have the English and the Hebrew there for you. Heedcal.com, HEBCAL.com. Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1.
Do you want me to read it?
Okay. That's cool. I don't want you to word. Remember, it's letter recognition. I want you to call off every letter from right to left until you get to the end of verse 1.
Okay, here I go.
Okay.
Beit, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Yod, Taf, Beit, Resh, Aleph, Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yod, Mem Sofit.
Stop. See that there? He called off. It's at the end of a word, and that's where you see the Sofit present. At the end. Mem Sofit. If you look at the chart on the screen, Mem Sofit is there. However, the regular Mem looks different. Even though it looks close, similar in design, he called off Mem Sofit. That's the time where you will have to recognize that the letter is different. Okay, my brother, continue.
Aleph, Tav, Hey, Shin, Mem, Yod, Mem Sofit.
Stop. See, now if you look at the verse, if you're following along, for the last word he just did, he said, Hey, Shin, Mem. Not the Mem Sofit. You see the chart on the screen? If you can keep both screens side by side, look at it, compare it. First it was the Mem, then it was the Yod, but at the end of the word, the Sofit was present again. You see, both of them are pronounced the Mem, but they look different for grammatical purposes only. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, my brother.
Waw, Aleph, Tav, Hey, Aleph, Resh, Sadeh Sofit.
See it present? Three times one word. You see two different. Three times in one verse, you see two different Sofits. Now, here's where you know if you're good. Because I know my brother reads Hebrew with us and the Torah portion every Shabbat. From the end of the verse, Chief Uziel, read off the letters one by one until you get to the beginning of the verse. Start from Sadeh Sofit.
Okay. Sadeh Sofit, Resh, Aleph, Hey, Tav, Aleph, Wav, Mem Sofit, Yod, Mem, Shin, Hey, Tav, Aleph, Mem Sofit, Yod, Hey, Lamed, Aleph, Aleph, Resh, Beit, Tav, Yod, Shin, Aleph, Resh, Beit.
Very good. Now I want y'all to see what happened there. He's able to recognize the letters. When you can recognize the letters, you will always be able to read Hebrew. You may not understand what you're saying, but you'll be able to read it. You have to get to the point where you're able to recognize the letters. That as you get to verse 2, I want you guys to follow me. As you get to verse 2, it should be Waw, Hey, Aleph, Resh, Sadeh, Sofit. Hey, Yod, Ta, Hey. Tet, Hey, Wow. And that's actually the colon, but that's another thing. Wow, Beit, Hey, colon again. Wow, Het, Shin, Kaf, Sofit. Y'all see what I'm saying? Ayin, Lamed, Pei, Nun, Yod, Ta, Hey, colon, Mem, Sofit. Wow, Resh, colon, Het. Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yo, Mem, Sofit. Mem, Resh, Het, Pei, Tal, Ayin, Lamed, Pei, Nun, Yod, Hey, Mem, Yod, Mem, Sofit. You want to be able to look at it and be able to easily identify the letters. And the only way you're going to do that is if you practice pulling off the letters. Don't worry about all the other squiggly lines. Just see how it goes. Practice it. Let your eyes be able to easily recognize it. When your eyes can easily recognize it, you will be able to quickly read Hebrew and you won't stutter so much. The average person stutters when reading Hebrew because they can't recognize the letters. That's how it goes. Because they can't recognize the letters, it becomes different for them. They stop and they go, oh, well, what happened? Or they're looking at it and they're saying, oh, well, I can't really recognize this letter. What's going on here? So if we go over verse 1 more time, I'm going to call it off for you. Beit Resh Aleph, Shin Yod Tau, Beit Resh Aleph, Aleph Lamed Hey Yod Mem Sofi, Aleph Tau, Hey Shin Mem Yod Mem Sofi, Hey Aleph Resh Sadeh Sofi. Okay? Did y'all get it? Okay, good. You should have it. Okay. Are you still with me, bro? Do you need me to share my screen? I can bring up the chart if need be.
That went out for the screen. It'd probably be easier for you to share it. I could do it. It's not a problem. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. My internet.
No problem. Yeah, no. I figured something was going on. I didn't know if it was. I was just glad that the overall connection did.
No. Once you're on, you could continue it. All right. There goes the screen.
All right. So great. Now let's roll down below the otot. What does the otot mean again? Letters. Letters. The otot are the letters. Okay. A little bit more. Yeah. All right. So now we have the otot, right? And the otot are the letters. What are the vowels? The vowels are called the nikwadot. Vowels. Nikwadot. You need to be able to recognize the nikwadot. I like the way that word sounds, right? Nikwadot. Vowels. Now, if you see Hebrew in the street, you'll realize that the vowels are not usually there. When you see Hebrew, you don't see vowels there. You just see the otot, correct? Go to any Hebrew sign online. The nikwadot are never there. The nikwadot are never there. This is what you will have to understand. While you are learning Hebrew, you need the nikwadot so you understand how to properly pronounce a word, because it's a language full of homonyms. However, once you become versed enough in Hebrew, you will no longer need the nikwadot to read, because you'll already know how the word sounds and how it's supposed to be. And from the spelling of the word and from your vocabulary, you will understand how to pronounce it. Okay, so let's deal with the first nikwadot. The name of that is chamatz. Chamatz. The chamatz sound, which you will not see on your screen, sounds like ah, A-H, chamatz, ah. The name of the nikwadah is ah, but is kamatz. I said the name of it is kamatz, but the kamat sound is ah. You don't see that on your chart. You must write that down. Okay? And I stand corrected. I said the nikuda is the nukuda. Nikudot, nukuda. The nukuda is a vowel, one vowel. Nukuda, verbal, nikudot. Did y'all get that? One vowel is nukuda, multiple vowels, nikudot. Okay, so the first nukuda is kamat. The kamat sounds like ah. You must write that down. Ah, it sounds like ah. The next nakuda is the patak.
Moreh Yeftahk, I think I loaded on the descriptions a chart with the different sounds to the nikodot. So there's another chart there that you might have not seen that has a numerical value, and it also has the sound, I believe, of each
Of the
vowel.
nikudot?
Yeah, of each vowel. And I also loaded a PDF, the PDF that I sent you earlier
Yes.
with the Hebrew, biblical Hebrew. It's about 13 pages, and it should also have the sounds for each vowels there.
Right. Okay. Let me ask you, do you have it available? See if you can pull it up. We'll continue to go through this and see if you can pull it up. That's fine. There's not a problem with that. I said if it helps the people better, and I should have taken a look at this earlier, so I apologize to the people who are online. And we're going to work this out. Because if that will help you pronounce the vowels better, then that works. In the meantime, let me just call off the names of the nikudot. Kamat, patak, seri. Matter of fact, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to put the chart up, and I'll give you the time to take a look for what you're looking for. Okay, Chief?
Yeah, that sounds great. Let me stop my sharing, and then you can share your screen.
Okay, can you see that? Can you see the screen yet? Oh, I can't hear you.
I see me. You sharing me.
Okay, so let's
So
minimize that. No, I got you.
All right.
Can you see it now?
I only see you. You have to open up the screen. You have to open up the screen with the Alef Beit on it. It has to be open in the background, and then when it asks you which screen you want to share, then you click on it and you share it.
Okay, so let's see how we're gonna do this. Boom. Screen share.
Right.
Desktop. Start screen share. All right. How about now?
There you go. Yeah, you got it now.
Okay.
Now scroll down a little. That's all.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay. So while we're working on getting that other chart up, let's do the pronunciation of the nikudot. Remember, we're starting from right to left. Kamat, patak, seri, segol, Schwa. cholam, sharik, kibbutz, shuruk, katav kamatz, katav patah, and katav sagol. Again from the beginning, hamatz, patah, seri, segol, Schwa, cholam, sharik, kibbutz, shuruk, katav kamatz, katav patah, katav segol. Okay, so remember about, I have my pointer here. I should have had my pad. I don't know where my pointer is at right now. Hold on 1 second. Let's see, okay. So if y'all can see, I turned it a little bit darker so you can see my pointer. The kamatz. Within the kamatz, the sound is ah. Kamatz and patah have the same sound, ah. Only difference, there's a dot here underneath the line. Both of them have a line, but only the kamatz has the dot. But they both sound like ah, ah, A-H, ah. The sari, 2 dots next to each other, gives the sound of A, A-Y-E, A, like hey you, come here, A. Write that down, the A sound. The sagol gives the sound of E-H, Upside down triangle, right? 3 dots. See the triangle formation, 3 dots. The Schwa. Pay close attention. The Schwa is indicating to you to stop. When you see the Schwa, it looks like the semicolon. You see the Schwa, just stop. And or give the UH sound. Wadaber. 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 Not Y-E. Wadaber. The Schwa is signaling to you to stop. This will also signify to you where you will be able to pronounce these things according to the syllables. You'll be able to break down the word, right? The next word, cholam. Pay attention to this cholam. The next word, the next nakuda, cholam. The next nakuda, cholam. What does this look like? Here comes your letter recognition here. This looks like the wav, right? However, with this wav, look at it. The cholam looks like the wav. If we scroll back up, the wav is right there. Now, this dot is not always pregnant. This wav is not always present on top of the dot. Excuse me, I'm saying this all wrong. This dot is not always present on top of the wav. Okay? Remember, you will not always see this dot here, and it is still the wav. However, when you see the dot on top, when you see the dot on top of the wav, it now becomes cholam. Remember that rule. When the dot is on top of the cholam, is on top of the wav, it becomes cholam. One more time. When the dot is present on top of the wav, it becomes cholam. You no longer pronounce the wav. You pronounce it as O. O-H, O. The cholam is pronounced as O. So remember the rule. When the dot is on top of the wow, it no longer is pronounced as wow. It becomes the nukuda cholam. Y'all got it? Next letter, sharik. The sharik, one dot by itself. That gives you the E sound. The E sound, E. Sharik, E. The next letter is kibbutz. Kibbutz, right? That gives you the U sound, kibbutz, U. However, like hamatz and patak, kibbutz and shuruk share the same sound. Gives you the U sound, kibbutz, U, shuruk, U, U, U. Same thing. However, we're seeing something looking the same, but a little bit different, right? Looks the same, but a little bit different. Now, when you have the shuruk, you see the wow again. You see the wow again, but the dot, unlike the cholam, where the dot is on the top, now with the shuruk, the dot is on the side, correct? And so that's how you identify the difference between the cholam and the shuruk. When the dot is on the side of the wow, and you will only see it present on the left-hand side. It will never be on the right-hand side. It will always be on the left-hand side. When you see that dot present on the side of the wow, it now becomes shuruk, and you have to pronounce it U. Okay? U. Shuruk, U sound. Looks like the cholam, but remember the rule. The dot is on the top, O sound. It's on the side, U sound. Do y'all see it? Y'all get it? O, U.
I see it. I get it.
Left-hand side, U. All right. Now we will get into when the rules change. The kamatz by itself gives an ah sound. But now we see the Schwa on the left-hand side of the kamatz. And now we have kataf kamatz. And I bet you're saying, so what is that, Moreh? The Schwa is on the side of the kamatz, and it becomes kataf kamatz. What is this signifying for you to do? The pronunciation sounds the same. However, it's telling you to speed it up slightly. It's speeding it up slightly. And you can only understand that once you get into reading. So I just want you to take the note that you are speeding it up slightly, and that it will be explained to you later when you begin to read why it's like that. Okay? The Schwa being present next to the kamatz is letting you know to speed it up slightly. The same thing with kataf pataf. Speed it up slightly. Same pronunciation. What's the pronunciation again? Ah, but speed it up slightly. You will understand once you begin reading. And the same thing for the kataf sagol. With sagol, you have the eh sound, right? Eh, E-H, eh. Speed it up slightly. In my reading, not that I know everything, but in my reading, you really won't see this too much. But you must be aware, at least when reading the Tanakh. However, you must be aware when it's present that it'll be like that. However, you will not see the Schwa next to the Sari. And you will not see the Schwa next to the Kari to make a Kataf Sari or a Kataf Shari. You won't see that. You won't see the Schwa directly next to the Schwa to make a Kataf Schwa. You won't see that. You won't see the Schwa next to the Cholam to make a Kataf Cholam or Kataf Sharu. Y'all with me so far? Remember the rules.
I'm with you. And I got another chart when you're ready.
Okay. Under the same oat, when you see under the same oat, the same letter, you see the Sagol and the Schwa right next to each other, it becomes Kataf Sagol. Speed it up. Now, what you don't see on this chart, which may be on the next chart, and I'm going to unshare my screen so my brother can take back over where we're at, will be the Yod. When the Yod is next to the Nakuda. When the Yod is next to the Nakuda, which will usually be on the right of the Nakuda, it's letting you know to extend it. Okay? It's letting you know, extend it. Let me share my screen here. How do I do that? Let's go here. Let's cancel. Okay. You have control again, my brother?
Can you see it?
I can. I just want to make sure everybody else can see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's up.
Okay, good. Okay. So, remember what I just told you. With the vowels, when you have the Yod there, the Schwa tells you to shorten it. But when the Yod, the letter Yod, is next to the Nakuda, it's letting you know to lengthen it. Okay, the Schwa shortens it, the Yod lengthens it. And finally, when you have the Patak, or the Kamatz, when it's present at the end of a word, and Het, remember that 8th letter? Het, that guttural Het. When that letter is pronounced, that will be the only time where you pronounce the vowel first and then the Het. That is the rule for Hebrew. Okay? And there will be examples of that as we go along. However, I'm giving you that information now so you understand how to pronounce it. Okay, so in our last 10 minutes, we'll use the chart that our brother has pulled up for me, Toda Rabah, my brother. And we will go over some of the sounds. So if we see, starting from the right, we have the Hebrew word Av. And the word Av means father. And as you see, Alef Beit. Now remember what I told you about that Beit. It's interchangeable sometimes. Sometimes you'll hear Ab, sometimes you'll hear Av, depending on how it goes. Abi is my father, but Av is father. Can you say Avi? You can say Avi, and you can also say Abi. It doesn't matter. However, what is the Nakuda at the bottom underneath the Aleph? Take your cursor over to father. Alef Beit. What's the name of the Nakuda underneath the Aleph? Do we know?
Kamatz.
Kamatz. Very good. The kamatz is there. The nakuda is signifying to you how to pronounce it. Kamatz. All right? Now, look at what happened here. If we remember from the review, the Aleph is the silent letter. So there's nothing to pronounce there. We're just pronouncing the kamatz, which sounds like ah, and we pronounce the Beit, which sounds like v. Av. Av. Did you get it? Av. Let's go to the next word. The next word, now remember Beit and Beit is used interchangeably. What's present in the next word? The next word down is daughter. Number 2. We see that dot in the middle? You see it?
Yes, I do.
Now it's pronounced Beit. It's not Beit, it's Beit here. So if we have the Beit and the Tal, what Nakuda is underneath the Beit?
The patat.
The Patat. The Kamatz was present the first time. Now we have the Patat. And it has the same sound. So that sound is ah. So if we have Beit, ah, Tal, how do you pronounce that word, my brother, Chief Uziel?
Bat.
Bat. Did y'all hear that? Bat. B, ah, t. Bat. The Beit makes the b sound. The Tal makes the t sound. B, ah, t. Bat. We got it? We did, for number 1, we did Av, Aleph being the silent letter, the Kamatz, and the Beit. We got Av. But the next word, we have Bat. Now, number 3. What are the 2 letters there? Aleph, Lamed. But what is the vowel there, Chief Uziel?
Sarek.
Sharik. Right?
Sharik.
Sharik is there. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, my screen is a little bit low. And I should have known because the word is God. The Sharik is not there. I stand corrected. The Sari is there. All right? We got the 2 dots next to each other. Sari is there. How do you pronounce that word, Chief?
L.
L. Hear that? A? L. L is God. L is God. Now, the next word. Remember what I just told you about the yod? I said when the yod is to the left of the vowel, it's the next letter. However, there is no other vowel underneath it. That's what I failed to tell you guys earlier that I should have put in. When the yod succeeds the vowel, let me not even say succeeds. When you see the oat Beit and you see the oat yod, the letter Beit and the letter yod, and you have a nakuda under the Beit. However, you do not have a nakuda under the yod, you must extend the vowel. That is a better explanation than what I did earlier. So again, when you have an oat, in this case would be the Beit, number 4. In this case is the Beit, that's the oat, and the next oat is yod, and there is no nakuda, there is no vowel under the yod. You must extend the sound of the nakuda under the Beit. So how would you pronounce that word, Chief Uziel? In that instance, it would be pronounced
And that LB Bayit,
No,
bait,
it would be bait.
bait.
Bait is spelled as a different nakuda there.
Right. Is bait. I see it. My
So
bad.
if you see in the middle, if you see in the middle of number 4, they gave you the aleph and they gave you the yod, and they put the sari there. You see what they put? Sari yod. Sari yod. Date. I know your chart says as in they. It's not, it's the A. The A. A. They ate. Date. Get it? Date. You have to extend it. It's a
Bait,
long name.
bait, bait.
Right? Now for our final one, and we'll stop at number 5, we see the word shequel. Shin, Kuf, Lamed. Shequel. Shequel. Shin, Kuf, Lamed. But underneath the Shin is the Segol. The Segol, if we remember from our chart, gives the EH sound. EH. Sh, Qu, L. Shequel. Shequel. EH sound. It's a short sound. Shequel. The shequel.
Shaquel. Shaquel.
That's Hebrew cut. That's currency. That is money in the Hebrew language. So currency in English is the dollar. In Hebrew, the shequel is the currency. All right, the equivalent. So shequel. S sound. What I want you guys to do until the next Hebrew class, which will be next Thursday at 7 p.m., Most High willing, practice letter recognition as I explained to you guys. Open up a Hebrew. You don't have to necessarily do Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. But why not do Genesis chapter 1, verse 1? Easy for you to find. Practice recognizing the letters. And after you go through the first 5 verses, then practice recognizing the nekudot. Practice recognizing the vowels. See if you can recognize the cholam and the shurut. The cholam is present. I don't even have to go there, and I'm guaranteeing you the cholam is present. Recognize the otot. Recognize the nekudot. And then practice getting better at it, and our next lessons will progress. We will get to the point where we practice reading, and in no time you'll be able to recognize the letters, and you'll be able to begin to practice reading Hebrew, and you'll be well on your way. My brother Chief Uziel, do you have any questions at this time? Or are there any questions being posted online?
No questions at this time from me. For the people online that would like to ask questions, you could call the number 347-622-9090, 347-622-9090. For anyone that would like to post questions, 347-622-9090. Moreh, is this chart that I posted up, is this chart good? Is it useful?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And everybody who, as we begin to post the links, everybody who has it, please download it and practice it and look over it. And if there's something you're not understanding, don't worry about it. As time goes on, it will be explained to you. But we will begin to utilize these charts also. And again, we'll begin to have some printout exercises that you'll be able to print out from your home and practice it so that you'll get better at Hebrew. But Todah Rabbah for this chart, yeah, this chart is very good. This works also.
Listen, there are various things online. There are also some PDFs that you could download about ancient Hebrew that would also give you. Let me see if I could share some of it right now. I guess next week we'll be looking at something like this. You know, this is also up there. You could as you can see right here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I guess next week we'll be going over.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Give
We'll
you the
get there.
cursive, you know.
Right. Block,
Right.
verse. Yeah, we'll do it. Numerical value and the meaning of words. I just don't want to
Right.
give much too quick. And also,
Right.
for the people listening online, anything that you want to add as far as suggestions for the pacing of the lesson or things you'd like to learn or that you're interested in learning, post those questions also. I'm very much interested in your comments and your concerns about how the lesson is going, and I very much want your feedback on how you're learning and what you feel can make the experience better for you.
All right. So
Okay, well, if that's where we're at, um,
yeah,
we
I
got
believe that's where we're at. I don't think anyone has any questions. Most people are checking these things out probably afterwards. Once again, I'm going to give out the number 347-622-9090. If you have any questions, if you're confused, give us a call right now. If you want to ask any questions of Moreh Yeftahk, give us a call right now, 347-622-9090 for everyone online. Also, for everyone, while we do that, we would like to ask everyone, if you can, to give us a donation towards the congregation. Info at shemayisrael.com. Info at shemayisrael.com. That's info at SHMAYISRAEL.com. That's PayPal. Throw us a donation for the work, for the effort towards the congregation. Is not going into our pockets. Or you can also support the channel that you're on right now. Hit the support button, and we'll really appreciate any donation that you give us. So in the meanwhile, it seems like no one has any questions. Hopefully, people catch the stream later, which I know they are. Don't forget the links below. Press on the links below, download whatever's there, and may the Most High God bless each and every one of you. Moreh Yeftahk, I don't know if you have anything imparting.
um, as usual, I thank everybody for tuning in. I'm very much appreciative of the fact that people want to learn Hebrew and have taken an interest in learning the language. It is our language as a people, so we have to take the time and make sure we understand the importance of regaining our own language and understanding our heritage, which would lead us back to who we truly were before we came here and landed on these shores. So stay at it. We know it's not an easy thing, but it's very much an attainable goal, and pray to God about it. And I'm sure He'll give us all the tools we need in order that we can return to this language and be proficient at what we do. I thank you all. God bless you all, and have a wonderful night.
Shalom, shalom. May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless each and every one of you. Shalom.